Alrighty, what's up? Welcome to episode number 98 of Kramer and Jess Uncensored. It's the most dangerous podcast on the internet. Not really.
Not really.
Our life's been kind of. I've been like the least scandalous I've been in like the last 5 years recently.
That's
I
nice.
feel like I need more. It's been very peaceful. It really has been, but I feel like I got to be more scandalous.
No.
I need to.
That's a toxic trait.
I know. What do you talk about? Like, well, I went home and looked at my stock portfolio last night.
Did you really?
I mean, basically, on Monday I did.
That's
I was
funny.
gonna say, wait, did you really have?
That's it. That's my real life right now, bro. In case you're brand new to this Uncensored podcast, you may know us from a radio show. So probably need to explain exactly what you get yourself into, Jess.
Uncensored is very uncensored, and we like to describe it as like the close friends option on Instagram, where you only have a select few of people that you choose to show and share things with. So that's basically what the Uncensored podcast space
So
is
let's hear for it.
us.
Do not be giving us a hard time for anything that's mentioned on this show. Okay, that's all that we ask. Look who's here. Johnny E showed up today.
Aw, Johnny
This
E.
man is actually now you want to show back up, Johnny E?
No, he checks in. He's just kind of, he just wakes up. I don't know if his shift starts later in the morning. He just kind of a little at the end of the 6 o'clock club crew.
He got a new job. You
Oh,
know
yeah?
that? Yeah, he's a corporate guy now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Nice, Johnny E.
making those paychecks now, son. What's up, Megan? How are you? And Adventure Jojo, we're shouting out people that are on the YouTube show. In case you don't know, we also do the show on YouTube every Wednesday. And Mike is here as well. I don't know why he's saying hi from San Diego with a rain emoji.
It's been rainy over there.
Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Ha! Ha ha! Welcome to the real world, bitch.
Mike, sorry
So
about that.
aggressive.
I still have San Diego weather aggression in me. Like when they're like, oh, it's so cold. And it's like 65. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I absolutely will not allow you to say that anymore. Like, that has been taken away from you. It's rainy today.
Yeah, they've been getting some rain.
Stop. Don't want to hear it. Okay, question about election day. I got a couple things before we get to an update with Jess. First off, marijuana is legal. Welcome all of our weed smokers.
The rest of the country's like, okay.
How many? Do we know how many states it's now?
19.
Okay, so we're at least on the front side of it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's pretty good. That's
I
kind of
forget.
progressive.
I forget. I think it's. I always need to remind myself to step out of a California brain because I feel like if you're in a state where it's always been, it's like what the fuck. But if you haven't, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, legal or legal enough. So they just legalized marijuana last night in Maryland. And it's kind of been like the hot topic of today. I don't really want to necessarily spend that much time on this, but and I want you to be honest with me about this. I started talking about this on Certified Mama's Boy today. Okay, so I'm a 39-year-old man, and I really pride myself in how important voting is. I do think it's very important. Honest to God, like I think if you don't take the opportunity to vote, you're really missing out on one of these things. You know how many countries look at us and like, God, I wish we could choose our fucking leader. Like that must be nice. So I don't take it for granted at all. So I sit here and yesterday, super preachy. I get very preachy about everybody needs to vote. It's really important. I do agree with that. Okay. So then I go to vote yesterday and I get my sample ballot out. I start looking over everything. How many of the things did you actually fucking vote for that you actually understood on that ballot yesterday?
What do you mean? They
did you understand? Were you able to, and did you feel like you had an opinion on every single thing you voted for yesterday?
Do you want to give money to like schools and XYZ? Do you want to give money to like the sewage and like the highways and then blah blah blah?
You felt confident with your ballot.
Yeah, I mean there were somewhere because there were some people that when it came to like this
the judges and things like
that. The judges.
That was the thing where I was like,
tough.
oh shit, I didn't even know this was gonna be on here. So obviously I'm on my phone and I'm like, trying to like look through some stuff real quick. But what I did not like, in Garage Boy and I were talking about this yesterday, where it's like when you're on the sign, it's always like yes on this, no on this. When it's like that's not what it says on the ballot. It's like, are you for or against the Constitution or amendment?
Should this be constitutionally amended?
I'm like, bro, like what the fuck? Like
is
at
that
least
for or
adjust
against?
it. Y'all should adjust it because that I don't like. Because like when I was voting for weed, I've always been like, yes, I'm for, and then I get to question 4 and it's like against the Constitution for marijuana legalization. Ooh. And I was like, why are you guys making it confusing?
They use the legal terms.
The people that were anti-weed, I saw them put out. Actually, did you get the email this morning from them?
No.
I'll tell you what this said. So I woke up this morning very early. I had a bad dream. like any 39-year-old. Couldn't sweep. Had a bad dream. And I had this email. It was like, because my stance is like, I don't smoke, but I also don't think it should be criminalized. Like I just don't care that much. Okay, this is from Sam, and I'm not making fun of it, but like this is their stance of it. This is Sam, the smart approaches to marijuana action, preventing another big tobacco. The email says, protect our kids. This came out, hang on. Let's see what time I got this. This came out inbox. Sorry, 9:51. It's already gone to sleep. For immediate release, Maryland votes to legalize marijuana. Sam action looks to lessen consequences, raise awareness. Tonight, after months of campaigning, Smart and its sister came up short in fighting for Maryland's marijuana ballot measure, which legalized recreational marijuana. In Maryland, the writing the ballot language was so deceptive. They said it was so deceptive. Focus on use, not the commercial aspect of the text. And this certainly was a factor in driving the state to vote in favor of marijuana commercialization. They felt like the way it was worded on the ballot was
it literally
not
was
fair.
It's like yes or no for people 21 and up.
That's what
I took from it. That's what I took from it.
Here's what their president said. They said, many Maryland voters likely thought they were approving adult use, not massive commercialization and pot shops in their neighborhoods. We are exploring legal challenges to initiate because it was so deceptively written. He continues that our staff and volunteers did an incredible job getting folks engaged on the issue. I cannot thank them enough for their hard work and dedication, blah, 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 blah.
It literally says recreational use for 21 and up on the ballot.
I didn't think it was confusing.
It wasn't.
My side of it, I didn't feel like it was a confusing issue at hand.
I think to that point too, you obviously knew what it was. So whether that was going to be on you, whether you were going to vote for it or not.
Yeah.
You knew what it was going to be.
You know your stance on it.
No, exactly.
Nobody walked into the polls being like, how do I feel about marijuana use?
Yeah. So no matter how it was worded, either you were going to vote yes or you were going to vote no.
Maryland still, we've been here for a little over 2 years. And tell me if you agree. And Son, you can tell me how you feel about this too. I did not know how that vote was going to go. I honestly did not know, because sometimes this state can be really forward progressive. And sometimes it's like, I feel like I've gone back 30 years and I never quite know who the majority is of the two. Were you surprised that, and it was like as of right now, it's like 65-35.
Mm-hmm. It's 65.5%.
Okay. Thank you, Jess. Were you surprised by that? How'd you think it was going to go?
I guess my reaction and feelings were I did not have high expectations. Haha.
Okay. I see what you did.
But because I did not want to be like, I don't want to say disappointed. I think I wanted to stay neutral about it, because I would not have been surprised if it didn't go through.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Hassan, you've lived here your whole life.
Correct.
Born and raised Maryland.
Correct.
How do you feel about 65.5 as of time of recording? That could change as ballots come in.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, were you surprised that it passed? Because do you agree it's a kind of a weird dichotomy here?
It's not just Maryland in general, the country as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised about anything since 2016.
Okay. So would you how do you think it was going to go? Because like in California, when we voted in 2017.
He's asking your opinion as far as like just weed in Maryland. Like your thoughts on that, because you were born and raised here.
Like just because of the fact that, to be frank, I don't care. It's been around since I was in high school. So since me and Jess was in high school,
way before you. Okay.
Right. But like,
y'all didn't find it, by the way.
No, we didn't. But kids my age were smoking it since high school. So now that we are voting age and we are the majority, like millennials are the majority demographic, you could say, I'm not surprised it's passed, but I'm not shocked that it's passed, but I wasn't going to be shocked, same as just if it didn't pass, because it's
hard to tell.
It's also hard to tell.
It's
hard to convince people to go out and vote.
There was I don't know what percentage of people voted yesterday, but same with me. I was over in Fed Hill and everybody in front of me had to have been damn 18, 19 years old. And I was happy to see that.
Smoking weed too.
Probably high as hell going in there.
I saw a lot of first-time voters.
Whatever it takes. I don't care. They get out to the poll, and it made me happy. Okay, I got a question about nude photographs today. Okay. What is the breakup rule when it comes to nudes? Obviously, we didn't vote on that one yesterday. Maybe we should have. No rule book, this kind of stuff. I was scrolling back through. I was actually using my Amazon photos, and I forgot what I was looking for this weekend. For some reason, I had to go back and look for something. But as I was scrolling back, I came across a slew of nude photographs of someone that I was dating back in the day. And I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say when, how. We'll leave it at that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew they were there, and I'm not even gonna lie to you and say I haven't looked at them since we split.
Lame.
That would be a dishonest statement for me to make. So I'm not going to try to make myself sound, but I knew they were there.
Yeah.
But when I ran across them, I just unexpectedly came across them this weekend. I'm like, oh, these old things.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Scandalous.
My question is, what's the rule about nude photographs once you're no longer in a relationship? Is it like a Christmas gift? Is it like something that's given to you and there's no expectation from the woman that you would delete those? And I did not delete them. I did not delete them.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking, I was like, I don't really know from a woman's perspective. Here's mine from a guy. If I send you, which I don't think I've ever done this. I don't think because women don't really want that shit. If we broke up, I would not expect you to delete them. I would just hope, because I don't think I'd send it to somebody I didn't trust in the first place. Anytime I'd send something like that or engage with somebody like that, where like there could be record of it.
Yeah, and that, what is it, debauchery?
And that kind of debauchery, that digital debauchery, if you will.
That dick debauchery.
That DICKbauchery.
DICKbauchery.
The DICKbauchery.
This episode is now called DICKbauchery.
No.
Oh yeah, it's out there.
Man, that was my fault.
Good job, Jess. Way to go.
This is the second time.
DICKbauchery. What is the expectation of that? As a woman, like, do you think, like, for example, do you think your ex-boyfriend had nudes of you on his phone?
I know that there probably was a very few.
You said, I think maybe they're probably just, I don't even know. There's just a.
I think there's at least just a couple. Here's like a little bit. I think, and this is what I hate too.
Okay, hang on.
I fucking hate it.
Same if it's self-taken. Let's say you guys are just messing around. I've never done this before, but let's just say you're like, I'm going to film us today. I'm going to film us hooking up. And like,
make an adult film.
Yeah. I'm sure people do it. I'm scared to ask old Stan Willie over here.
Shut up.
Okay. Like, what is the rules and what is the expectations?
Yeah. When
it comes to nude photographs or videos?
I think it's very similar. At least for me, it's like I pray to God that you would give me the common courtesy to delete them if we aren't together. In my soul, I want you, like, once in my soul, this is how I want it to go.
Where do you think those photos are right now?
The minute the minute we break up, my biggest desire is for you to go in your phone and delete any evidence of me. That's what I want.
Yes, of course.
That's what I desire.
Yeah. Do you think guys do that?
What I expect, I don't think that they do that. I think they're like you and keep them in their Amazon photos and save them for a rainy day.
I just didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about how it must feel on the other side.
It sucks, yeah. And I hate that feeling.
Do you think most guys? And hey, let's get some honesty going on the YouTube show.
I think they keep them
from women, and it's really just Johnny E. Because Gabriella, from a woman's perspective. Okay, on our YouTube show says you shouldn't keep stuff like that if you're no longer together.
That's how I feel, and that's what I want to happen. Man. Do I think that happens? No, but that's how I feel too, Gabriella.
From a dude's, and I'm coming to you, Stan Willie. Just
relax.
Just relax. He's like, no.
I was kind of hoping you forget about me.
Oh no. I kind of feel like they are a gift. They are a gift. They are given to me. I can see Gabriella. Like, I get the point. That it would feel like this is, as long as we're together, you can have these. I
think that's the unspoken rule, even though nobody follows it. I think it's like the expectation.
I never thought about this. I did not think about this until this weekend at all. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to delete them. If I'm being completely honest with you, I want to hear everybody out. Stan Willie, aka Hassan. Do you have any nude photographs in your phone from someone that you have previously dated? And I wouldn't even say a hookup. Hookup, I feel like you know what you're getting yourself into. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
I feel like if this is just a hookup situation where we're talking about like
relationship. Yeah.
Do you have any nude photographs in your phone from someone you've been in a relationship with?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel like those are your rightful photos, videos, whatever? Like they're yours? How do you feel about it, honestly?
No.
So you feel scummy?
No, it's the fact because like I only kept the photos because technically I'm in it too, so it was like a joint
thing.
Jess,
photo and video.
Thoughts?
So that's what I'm saying.
So you think because you're in them, you want to keep it,
right?
See, if I was in it, I would also want to get rid of that as soon as possible because I don't even want to see myself with somebody else.
That's when my body was looking the best.
Okay.
So if you release the video, I ain't mad because my body was nice.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't care.
You don't care.
And second thing, I didn't know Amazon had photos until just now.
Amazon
photos. I did not know that was a thing.
And I'm sure like, all the staff goes through them. I'm sure there's somebody that has a quality check and it's seeing all those kind of nude photos. Man. I know.
Good for him. Good for that person.
But what do you think? I mean, in reality, do you think if you send someone in a relationship, and you're in a relationship, or you're at least dating enough to have a safety blanket there, when you guys break up, and there was no discussion of it, there was no like.
I think because you just assume that you're going to both be adults about it. I also think it's a common courtesy to the person that you're not with anymore, and also to the person you're going to be with. Because you should not have that shit when you're eventually in a relationship. And I don't think that when you get in a new relationship, that's when you should be looking at old pictures of somebody else.
Correct. I agree with Jess 100%. Like
that's sketch.
Like once you start
Sketch City
dating and like how
like pursuing it,
like once you like trying to move forward and give that person a title of boyfriend and girlfriend, you need to delete those photos.
It's a recipe for disaster.
I'm willing to almost bet money that every guy in this digital age probably has nude photographs of another woman in his phone.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And I know you don't want to hear that, but I don't see us knowing men the way I do.
Oh my God. But not all men are like you though. I hate it when you make blanket statements like this.
I would really, you got two right here and both of us have it.
Oh my God. 100%. 2 out of the entire world?
But
oh no.
2 of them.
But wait.
What will I do?
Let me clarify. You said photos at first. Me personally, I more have naked videos.
Okay, that he's in.
That I am in.
That he likes to look at.
Okay, just a random.
So you don't have any. If you were dating, did anyone while you were dating? Did they send you video or pictures?
Yeah,
and you deleted them afterwards.
Yeah, if I'm in it, then I kept them. If it's just them by themselves, I deleted them.
Garage doesn't. That fool I think has like 20 pictures total on his fucking gallery. He's like, this is me when
this is me in 7th grade.
More videos than
my high school graduation. That's true.
He probably using his phones for the pictures. That's what it is.
I would genuinely be curious. Okay, let's go over some of your comments over here on our YouTube show. Celia said those need to be deleted if you're in another relationship. Now that I can agree with, but what about the interim time? What about the interim time where there is no other woman in the picture?
No, but that needs to happen now because it's like, so when you are in a relationship, then you're going to go through and look at all this shit. And if you get caught doing that, oh my God, there's no way to explain. There's like no way to explain that.
Take yourself back to early garage. Okay. Let's just say that when you guys got serious, if like you saw him going through his phone and or maybe you checked, let's just say you went through his phone and you saw in his recently deleted photos, there were a bunch of nudes. Would that bother you knowing that he just then deleted them versus?
I think it depends on the timing. Like, I mean, if we had just met and it's like, we're just like a couple months in, that's different. But like, I think I think that's what would suck though. It's like we're serious and like we're like 8 months down the road and like I see that shit, I'd be like, what the? Because dude, like let's put it in our, we just moved here, we're in our new apartment, we just moved in together, and I look in his recently deleted after he moved across the country with me of like old naked picture to somebody else.
That'd make you upset.
I'd be like, what the fuck did I just do?
Wow. Even though they were deleted. I'm not saying you found a folder,
but I'm just saying like that I think timing is everything, and I would be lying if I said to you like we just moved here, we just moved all of of our life together.
Yeah.
And then you have all this stuff with somebody else and you just now decided to do that. I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Mike thinks I shouldn't put them on Amazon Photos. Now all your devices are logged into your parents' iPad.
Oh, no.
Let's do that.
Not Nancy. Don't say it. So Gabriella on our YouTube show says, I guess if you're single, that's one thing, but they need to be gone when you're in a new relationship. No, I 100% agree with. That I agree with.
I'm just trying to help you from getting caught up, because like you can't be here and be like, oh, I forgot they were on there when you're already, at a certain point with somebody else.
Gabriella finishes up. She said, if you're pursuing others, why would you want to hold on to the past? It's free on the internet. You don't need that picture.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something different about it. There's something different about it.
You still have them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, so I think it's weird. I think it's weird that you still haven't deleted them, knowing that you like having this. I know you had this conversation with yourself in your head and you still kept them.
I just don't know logistically what the rule is.
Delete them, you weirdo.
Why?
Because
what? I'm not pursuing anybody.
But why do you want it? Why do you want it?
Come on.
Is it a good
Why would you want it?
Yeah,
is
but
memories?
why do you want that?
That's not good who you're, memories, Jess.
That's not who you're with anymore. It's like living in.
I don't feel like I'm living in the past with that at all.
Bro.
I don't. Hey.
You don't think you're living in the past if you still need to look at someone that you used to be with naked? You don't think that's living in the past?
If it's
was the body that good?
If it's good, it's good.
I mean, okay, I could kind of.
Thank you, Hassan. I think it's this guy versus girl. I think again, I would be willing to bet money majority of men in the digital age.
That sucks.
Have another one in there. Sorry.
I mean, but I agree with Gabriella. It's also free on the internet. Just saying.
It's different. It's different. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get serious here in a couple seconds. Take a break. I know we got Jess's health. It's been all of our concern, and we're gonna get an update here next on the podcast. Okay. So if you weren't here last week, actually, I think we're kind of working backwards here. If you listen to the radio show, you have not heard this yet. We actually had a caller call in today and we recorded this with them. We just haven't played it back yet. But if you were here for last week's episode of the podcast, Jessica kind of told us about some of your period issues that you've been having.
Yeah.
Right? And I think you explained this in the clip, right?
I do.
So I know this is out of order. I don't mean to like throw off radio like but sometimes people like to time things out right. Like if a caller calls in today at 9:30, it's like, hey, I just have a question about Jess's period. I don't have time to put that into Wednesday's show, so we're gonna put it in a Thursday show instead. So hate to ruin that for you, but this is a call that we got today. Let's just get into this. Listen, Kayla from Bel Air, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I just want to find out any updates on Jess's period.
Oh, yeah. Okay. On service level, that probably sounds kind of weird if you weren't here last week. Well, do we have an update?
Yes, we have an update.
Should we give a backstory here first? I guess probably first.
Yeah. So I shared with you guys last week that I was going through stuff with my period, just very painful, very heavy, and something that I needed to go to the doctor for. And last week I actually had to get an ultrasound, and I was waiting for those results to see if they found anything, and I do have those results now.
And
so they did find something there. And it was a lot last week. I for the first time I had to get a vaginal ultrasound, and I had never experienced that before. And I was kind of alarmed because that's what I wasn't expecting. And so it was very uncomfortable for me. And I could just feel like something was wrong. Like I just felt like it shouldn't be that painful, for what I'm experiencing. And I found out that I have a submucosal fibroid. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. I wasn't, just because that's not something I've ever had before or knew anyone that had before. And there's a couple of different kinds of fibroids. And depending on what kind it is, it all depends on the place it is it's located in your uterus. And so that is what's been causing the heavy bleeding and the pain. Also back pain it can cause, because it's basically pushing against you and can mess with your spine and stuff. And depending on the size, it can have a negative effect on you with fertility and getting pregnant and can cause issues with that. So right now, we're just kind of seeing and have to wait it out because I shared with you guys that I was put on a different birth control to see if that was going to help with regulating the bleeding. And so I just have to have a waiting period with that, and then we can see if I have to do a surgical removal of it.
Yeah.
So that's basically where we are right now.
And how are you feeling?
It's I think more than anything, I'm just frustrated because I've just never dealt with anything like this before, and I'm constantly uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm not feeling good right now.
Yeah.
The birth control has been making me feel very up and down. I'm thankful that obviously this is a waiting period. It's not absolute that this is going to have an effect on me when the time comes of when I want to have kids. But this is basically, something that I was scared of.
But you don't know yet, right?
Right. But it's
I'm sure hearing that news though it's
hard.
It's like it's almost like your biggest fear of what you were kind of worried about going into it.
But honestly, more than anything, like just some people that I've talked to, it's like you don't know about any of this unless you've dealt with it. So I think something at least for women that I can share, like if you are having a very aggressive period and you're uncomfortable, don't just be like, it's fine. It's just stress. It's just that. If you are having lower back pain, that may be caused by something. So it's always better to get it checked out and advocate for yourself and go and look into it versus waiting like me months and thinking like, oh, this is normal. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it might not be. So if there's anything that can come from this is to definitely seek, professional help if you have any questions.
Sure. Well, I can tell you this, if it's any kind of sign of hope, right? My ex-wife had fibroid tumors. I can't remember the exact type, but she had a big one. It was literally the size of a softball. No joke. It was pushing out through her. Like you could see it coming out of her stomach.
Yeah.
Right. And luckily she did have to go in. She had surgery. They took it out. Everything was fine. No cancer, no nothing to worry about. Now, obviously that's one story. But if that's any, sign of hope for my ex-wife, it really wasn't a big deal. Any thoughts on all this?
Yeah. I just want to say, I hope that you stay really strong and that, that, this one, like worst case scenario, don't think about them. Focus like on your healing and feeling better instead of like in the negativity. And I send you a lot of love and prayers.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All of us do, Jess. Hope you don't feel alone in this. I know it's always kind of scary. Okay, we'll stop it there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was looking into it more. I think it's more common that women have issues than that's more common than things just being normal.
Yeah.
So and like I was like looking at on the internet, obviously I also went on TikTok.
Are you going crazy with it?
Yeah. I mean, I went on TikTok because I'm like, let me see real ass people talk about this shit. And with some people they were like, I honestly like same symptoms as me, all this kind of stuff, that was the most frustrating thing. And I hate that for us. Like you just put it off because you don't think it's that serious until like you're literally bleeding all the fucking time and you're in a huge amount of pain and you're like, what the fuck,
Right.
And so with some people, they were like, oh, I went in, and they actually didn't even have to get like cut up open at all. Like they're able to like kind of scrape it out, which sounded really painful, but better than like having some sort of like incision. Whereas like some people were like, I had to get it surgically removed and it was fine. And then of course, I think it's on both sides. It's like either common and everything's going to be cool, or it's going to be like a more serious thing.
Well, more so than TikTok. Don't get me wrong.
No, I know.
Like what is your doctor saying?
No, that's the thing. She was like, I have to wait it out. I have to finish the rest of this month because basically last week they put me on this like intense birth control, like a high amount of hormones, because what I typically take is like very low, because the high amount of it took me 4 different times to get on the birth control that I'm on now, because when it was like very high, it made me go fucking insane. Like I remember feeling out of control of myself, like like angry like crazy, right? So I've always had low hormones. So now they like shoot my shit up to try to help regulate the bleeding for like 5 straight days. It's basically like a half a month of birth control and then like in like 5 days, right?
Right.
So it has made my body freak the fuck out, and I'm freaking the fuck out. And right now I'm back on like my regular stuff. And so she's like, we have to see if like your body naturally will get back on the cycle and if that'll regulate the bleeding. And then in December, I have to go back in, and then we'll basically like reconvene of like, do we need to get it removed? Is that the case?
Right.
Because
how big is it?
It's not that big. I forget like what the whatever like the measurements of it right now. It's not that big, but that's the thing. Like we're hoping like when we look and see, you know, is like growing? Does it get smaller? Is it growing? Right. Obviously, because if it is growing, then we do need to get it removed, because she was like, that's when it could impact me with like implantation, fertility, all that kind of stuff. But she said it's not absolute. I think it's a positive thing that right away she wasn't like, we need to cut you open and get this out, which is good.
Dude, with my ex-wife, they were literally like, you got to get the hell over here. Like,
and that's what happens
like
sometimes.
A week or two, and it was like literally it was pushing through her stomach.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a big deal once it got pulled out. But it was. I mean, they literally said it was the size of a softball.
Yeah, and it's not cancerous, thankfully.
Yeah, so
that's good. I think it just depends on like the location and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Gabriella says, I had a cluster of
submucosal
fibroids 7 years ago. I had them emboline, and now I have 3 healthy babies. It's scary, but it gets better. Always get a second opinion. That's true. Took you 4 years to find out. Wow, 4 years.
Ooh, wow.
That's the one thing about this is like nobody. Thanks, Celia.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Like, you don't know what it is. I had like another friend that was going through the same thing, and like she basically had to beg people to get her an ultrasound finally, because she knew something was wrong. And at first she went to a chiropractor because she was having back pain, when that wasn't it. It was like her fucking uterus.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think you're doing everything you need to do. Maybe a little late, but not even like ridiculously too late. There's something. My ex-wife was dealing with it for you. I mean, obviously, if it was that fucking big. I think my optimism, which is not coming easily for me, feels positive about this. It feels like hopefully this is something you can just kind of hop on. And again, I think we could probably hear plenty more stories of women that have been through this and have way more positive experiences than negative. Because I remember my ex, we were literally the same thing. We were researching everything. It just kind of freaked us out. She found out literally, to tell you the story, she found out like Friday at like 4:55. She got her results back like just from the x-ray place. And so all weekend, it was like possible cancerous, like all this like scary ass language. So all weekend we were sitting there like, what? But yeah, she's good. Unfortunately.
Stop.
Wow. Stop.
All right. Well, keep us posted. That's it. That's all we got for y'all today. You got to get out of here. Go follow us on social media if you don't. We got a lot of places you can find us, a lot of different content going on. Hassan's always popping off on TikTok.
Yes.
How do we get you on TikTok too?
It's Stan Willie too.
Jessica?
Same as everything else.
You?
Just do it. JESSDUITT, and my podcast Loki.
I'm that guy Kramer. Everywhere. Certified Mama's Boy podcast. Love you guys. We'll see you next week for 99. Bye everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye YouTube. Y'all behave yourselves till next week, okay? Bye.